terribly opposed to the Sivir ban because of the impact that Pinoy can bring to games. You know, we've seen him hard carry. There was a phrase, get Pinoyed, was a thing for a while. And he has this, you know, ability to impact, but it does mean the Lulu has now been let through for the first time in so many games for the Giants, and the Nidalee will be the final ban from the Copenhagen Wolves.
It's been so long and you're still trying to force get Pinoyed through.
It's a long time. It's been a
I
while.
am Cologne 20, the one that he played at CLG at. It was 14.
14?
Same one as expansion tournament.
Yes, because we're 2016 now, right? So it's about a year and a half ago.
Still trying to force that through.
If my math is possible.
Well,
first pick Lulu. That's a surprise for me.
Considering how many times Giants have banned it, that is a fair statement.
xPePii has not played it at all this year. It will be a first time.
12 bans coming into today, plus 2 other games, makes 14. That's some fast maths for you. And a champion that has been banned in a couple of games so far, and that Gragas is going to get picked up. We didn't quite touch on the Nidalee being banned away, so there is that jungle presence once again being taken out.
Now, what I do like about the Lulu is if SmittyJ gets his Trundle again, which I'm expecting, Lulu can facilitate a Trundle to get in, to get out. Wild Growth is more effective, can facilitate a Kindred. If they decide to put SONSTAR on Lucian, you can do that as well. I mean, you could go Corky Trundle, save the Kindred for later, prevent Caedrel getting a comfortable pick.
Kalista would be the other one. We've seen this a lot out of teams like Origin, where they're like, well, we'll just protect on the AD carry and it'll be great. Now they've got, even if they do choose to lock this Kindred in, they would have the ultimate available here. I wasn't a big fan on Wisdom on the Kindred. I actually wouldn't mind seeing him on something like the Elise or Elise in. Just have a little bit more impact here, and I like the way that they're actually now hiding this. Take another defensive support, no reason really to show your jungler yet. Yes, there's a Gragas on the other side. You've got a lot of freedom here. On the same coin, Wolves may even just hide their top... no, because they got Poppy top.
Yeah, Poppy top already.
You know it's Lulu mid right now. So.
Yeah. So you have to assume AD carry and support here for Copenhagen Wolves?
Possibly.
SirNukeAlots, unless they want to run that Corky. You know, Corky's one of those champions, I mentioned it about a game or two ago, how you can cover some weaknesses of a mid laner by giving them Corky. He's got a good escape, he's got good siege, he's got good, you know, poke at all stages of the game. So there is possibilities there. And instead...
Okay. So, this is super good by the Copenhagen Wolves. SirNukeAlot, he played so much Trundle in the regular split that we were like, man, is this guy a Trundle one trick? Like, what is this? Because it's the only champion he's played. So put that down in the support, take it away from SmittyJ. Now they got a Lucian as well. Makes it fairly difficult for Giants actually to round out this composition. They lock the Rammus with a Trundle on the enemy team. Now Trundle, of course, is going to be down in the bottom lane. They could still flex the Poppy support. We haven't seen that much. I believe there was one game, I want to say in North America, that had a Poppy support. I remember like one game.
It's been a while.
In the last few weeks that's had it.
I think we can expect that Trundle up top. I'm a little concerned for the lack of magic damage on the side of Giants again. Yes, you've got the Lulu and the Rammus, which is, you know, supplementary damage, but it's not like a AP mage and AP damage dealer in the middle lane.
Yeah, I'm actually expecting the Trundle to be support, by the way. Just in case that wasn't super clear. It is possible to flex both and flip it. Mid lane now is available for pick. Well,
it would be a mid lane supportive teleport champion. Just not one we're used to seeing.
Caedrel taking a pick out of Ica's playbook in this game with the Morgana. Has not played Morgana in at least Challenger Series games. Obviously, did formerly play with Hustlin on Giants Underdoges. So there's a little bit of a history here.
Well, that's the first time that we're going to see SmittyJ on this Rammus. It's the first time that we're going to see Caedrel on the Morgana. For Giants, I think they've got a fairly well-rounded comp. They got pretty clear initiation tools that is helped out by teleports, by the Wild Growth, by the Whimsy. On the side of Copenhagen Wolves, I think a little bit more of a team fight comp, I feel.
Yeah, well, we're past the 20-second mark. That means we are locked down in where the champions are going. And as we kind of alluded to, Trundle in the bottom lane, Poppy up in the top. You mentioned team fight. There is a lot of team fight presence here. Do kind of expect Wickd to be able to, or at least for the early game, be looking at that side lane. But he is now against a Rammus. Has to try and hold that kind of tanky aggression out of a Rammus.
And of course, for Giants, if once they get past 20 minutes, the Powerball TP engages onto, you know, as long as SmittyJ can get past any of the Morgana bindings or the barrels, there's only one target you want to be taunting. That's going to be Lucian.
But then there's a black shield.
Ooh,
and
good point.
that kind of nullifies the
single
taunt
target.
presence. So now that makes the Rammus more difficult to work. There's a Trundle as well. This could have been this could be a good composition from the Wolves to kind of deny that Rammus.
Let's see how good Caedrel can predict those black shield targets. Guys, jump onto Twitter. Will Giants pick up the second victory of the series, or will it be the Copenhagen Wolves? Flags are lit and the teams are loading up for game 3 in this best of 5. You just caught a quick glimpse of Hustlin being soulbound there. And we've had one lane swap game, one standard lanes. I want to see what's going to happen this time round.
I want to see more standard lane. I just enjoy seeing standard lanes. I like seeing crisp lane swaps, but at the same time, not perfect lane swaps frustrate me a little bit.
Binding.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Oh, Braum senses it, so they actually have the feeling this is happening. They've not spotted anybody elsewhere. Ward does die.
There we go. So Ward killed. Advantage to Copenhagen Wolves. CS picked up by Pinoy. Game's over. But Glitzerlance rattles across the Copenhagen Wolves.
Ku was trying to get an engage there with that body slam. Of course, you do start that on Gragas, so it's not like he took anything completely differently. Was just trying to body slam his way in. Did not choose to flash.
Minions have spawned.
You got the little snail walking into the little bush there. I've never seen him walk into that little bush. I don't play in the jungle, so.
Ooh, Pinoy has opted for the Bloodlust rather than further back.
We're seeing it a little bit. I think Sivir was the champion we saw a bunch of last week.
We've actually started seeing it on almost every AD carry in Korea. Generally, they like playing a little bit more to stay alive rather than killing. They're like, well, I have enough damage anyway, so I can stay alive off these crits. So Pinoy is looking for the same thing. SONSTAR, on the other hand, is like, yeah, just give me the damage. I'll stack that further up real quick. Wisdom was trying to take the red buff, does have SmittyJ here. They can get SirNukeAlot to tank this red for a while, they could be okay.
Smite gets secured by Wisdom. NukeAlot and Smitty going to keep trading back and forth. Lane swap has been initiated. Copenhagen Wolves have thrown their duo up top. And thanks to having a duo up top, they'll try and push the tower down. But that was a very interesting play. It actually allows then Wisdom and, to maybe get a 3 buff if he can clear quickly enough. But that bottom half of the map is going to have the support of SONSTAR and Hustlin.
The problem is they can't take the blue buff. The blue buff has already gone from the Wolves side of things. They have to now sacrifice the blue buff for the Giants side. Flash chomp, what? SirNukeAlot, he got it, by the way.
Well, we'll find out in the next 4.5 minutes where NukeAlot can avoid anybody.
I mean,
yes.
Wisdom's still level 1. SmittyJ is still level 1.
Yeah, good play then.
So, I mean, that could have a ripple effect now. SmittyJ and Wisdom still just one ability each. SmittyJ's going to back himself away and be like, okay, I guess I'll go help him push it in.
All right, let's see what this means for the tempo of the lane swap. Copenhagen Wolves are going to get onto the tower first with more members. Giants are going to get 2 red buffs.
Yeah.
Copenhagen Wolves are going to get 2 blue buffs.
I'm sorry, I'm still getting over the fact we just saw Trundle flash chomp onto a big wall. And it works, and there was no punish.
Gotta get that CS.
Well, I guess Copenhagen Wolves, he wanted to save his brethren by chomping him.
Save his brethren. If anybody's going to take you down, I'm going to take you down, man. That's the way it goes. But it looks like these towers will be killed relatively evenly. Smitty's going to be doing the Armadillo headbutt with his power ball, his defensive ball curl rather, is the term I'm looking for. We'll need one more wave. So in actual fact, Giants are just a little bit behind. You can already see NukeAlot and Pinoy making their way into lane. They're going to walk over that pretty standard ward. And this could be a problem because Giants have not taken the tower down yet. NukeAlot and Pinoy, they've denied the push. So
one hit.
Yeah, SONSTAR and Hustlin, they left too early. 1 auto, the difference. And it means
Smitty's getting his recall cancelled. Oh, this is so bad for SmittyJ. Like, he is struggling to get any kind of experience in this game. Wisdom's coming down. He's able to defend for a bit, but Man, this is better out of the Copenhagen Wolves, considering how Game 1 started. Games 2 and now the beginning of Game 3 have gone so much better.
This could have a gigantic ripple effect. NukeAlot has no flash. He's used the exhaust. He's going to challenge over
He's
Grog.
got it.
Wisdom's in trouble.
Ooh.
Defensive flash away. Wisdom is forced to recall under the tower. And the piercing light. That's a double kill, first blood for Pinoy.
If you've never seen Ardent Plays kill someone before, there it goes. Lucian with the highest power ability in the game. Ardent Plays with literally no damage. Just picked up a kill. And now the Copenhagen Wolves will answer the TP with a TP. SmittyJ again has to back away. He's getting nothing in this game. Wolves are now pushing the bottom lane. This is going horrifically for the Giants.
It is a 2,000 gold lead at 5 minutes. SirNukeAlot flashed for a wolf earlier in the game. And now he's going to chase Wisdom and SmittyJ. He's
It's going to be a long replay. There
literally soloing the jungler and top laner of Giants at this stage.
Oh man, so he stops SmittyJ's recall twice, and then Wisdom tanks a little too much off the Krugs. Exhaust. Oh, look at this Ardent Plays. Wisdom, disrespect.
Yep. Ooh. You had to expect that. Pinoy double kill. BF Sword and Cull at 6 minutes. Oh my word. Giants have to play so defensive for so long.
Man, that's
Painful.
painful. It's like the equivalent of dying to a Janna tornado. That was, honestly though, SONSTAR was just like, yeah, I'll just, sorry, Wisdom was like, I'll just recall here, it's fine, I'm under my turret, right? Good play by Pinoy, knowing you can flash forward, dash into W and have the damage for it.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot used otherwise, but it was all good in the end. As you said, BF Sword Cull is stacking up now, and honestly, from here, the Copenhagen Wolves surely have enough control over this game to just... it's super early to say it.
I was going to say, that's a bold statement,
but honestly,
Cotton.
this is the kind of game that you look at, and you're like, okay, well, the game, if everything plays out as it should be done.
But that's the big clause, isn't it?
Right.
As it should.
As it should. And that's what, you know, when Crepo and Dex were talking about the last game and how the lane swap was messed up, they were like, well, this should be just losing the game off the lane swap. This should just be losing the game off the lane swap. But
is the theory.
We've seen Copenhagen Wolves in this position before, kind of lose their lead, maybe make a wrong decision here or there. So there is still windows of opportunity for Giants, but this is a massive.
Oh yes, before 10 minutes. We were tracking the CS differences between EpicSkillshot and Caedrel. For both of the previous games at 10 minutes, EpicSkillshot was plus 15 at 15 minutes. It's at 10 minutes. It's currently even, so I want to see how the next few play out. Caedrel, we're going to farm up with that tormented soil. Copenhagen was pushing very aggressively into the bottom lane. SONSTAR and Hustlin have to deal with a BF Sword Lucian. Yeah. That is... You're going to lose every single trade.
Not only that, but now you've got, like, it's a minor thing, but there's a Sightstone already on NukeAlot. So as soon as SONSTAR and Hustlin recall to get the Sightstone on Hustlin, NukeAlot just goes into the enemy jungle, puts down 3 wards, walks away, and is like, great, well, we've got full vision of this. We can now take anything we want. So it's just this knock-on effect that is continuing to, or will continue to show for the Wolves. EpicSkillshot thought he could at least try and catch Caedrel. He was low going over to blue, but Caedrel took the very easy way out, back up through the jungle, safe route, and kept himself alive.
We've actually seen EpicSkillshot playing quite aggressively onto Caedrel. Every now and again, we're just glimpsing Black Shield coming down from Caedrel. EpicSkillshot's popping it with the Glitter Lance, continue to chase forward. Both mid laners opting into the Frost Fang. Tier 2 for now. I want to see where they go from there on out.
And these are some of the few mid laners that actually can afford to do that. They still obviously benefit from the stats that Frostfang gives you, but also when you get the Frost Queen's claim, the Spooky Ghost is still fairly effective. Especially on a Morgana, you want to line up that binding very easily. So not too big of a surprise. We have seen Morganas in the past go other builds, like the Rod of Ages, you know, those tankier builds, but Caedrel probably will get Zhonya's Hourglass as a following item, maybe second, third, probably third more than anything.
Oh, look at this. Wisdom and EpicSkillshot not on the same page. Wisdom forced to tank that blue buff for a little while. Just a couple extra hits, not the timing maybe that EpicSkillshot was anticipating. Copenhagen Wolves take their second tower before 10 minutes with no reply. 4,000 gold in the lead. That's 33% more than their opponents.
But when saying that out loud, second tower before 10 minutes with a 3,500 gold lead normally would sound huge.
Yeah.
Keep in mind this is a lane swap. The difference that Giants haven't got the towers is the biggest factor about this, but 2 towers before 10 isn't actually that big a factor. Wolves want to expand on that and look maybe for the mid lane, but again, xPePii dodges it.
Yeah, and it's just a sidestep. Doesn't get caught by the binding either.
And the reason the tower count has been so low is that after the initial lane swap, this game has been dragged into standard lanes. And ever since that, it has just been the goal difference between the two. So really, there is no tower pushing potential from that. It's a very obscure game where we've ended with half a lane swap, but because Giants couldn't capitalize and actually take a tower down, Wolves end up going, okay, well, we'll just play standard against you now, and good luck
the
with
lead.
that. Yeah, exactly. And that now forces SmittyJ to be behind the curve, because he can't afford to push up with any wave that he pushes.
And for the outcome after his head-to-heads and the goal deficit, this is the largest bet Giants have been behind in a lane swap at 10 minutes all year long. That's including all of their LCS performances. So the Copenhagen Wolves have accrued a bigger advantage than some of the LCS squads. Going to secure their first Dragon of the game as well. This will deny one of the objectives that Giants have actually played very well around. I think games 1 and 2, they had very good early Dragon control. They had very good timing. And if SONSTAR and Hustlin can ever get to that bottom outer turret, a light breeze will knock it over. It is very, very low, but
126 health on it currently.
that I determine as a light breeze.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm quantifying.
If Giants could throw a goblin barrel at that tower, it would go down really quickly. That's not a bit. Black market brawlers and launching those things is not a thing anymore. Down in the bottom lane, SONSTAR and Hustlin continuing to defend the siege. Teleports available for Caedrel and Wickd, so if any action were to break out, look at those wards, there is options here for the Wolves to react.
Just expecting a Trundle to get launched in a barrel, or like float over in a balloon. No hacker in though, so you can't take that down super quick.
No, not this time. You're going to see him back in the meta. Hey, SmittyJ and Wickd, they're players too. Got themselves some farm. Tremors into headbutts, into dropping the hammer. It's not the most exciting of battles, but both players farming up as best they can.
All that was SmittyJ pushing the wave out so that he can recall, but the problem is, he walks into the bush right beside Wickd, and Wicked's like, well, I know you're recalling, so I'm going to stop it. Now the wave is pushed in, SmittyJ has to give over farm to Wickd, has to now lose some from his own wave. What it will allow him to do, he should be able to just powerball back up when the wave actually reaches his turret. There's almost no way that that wave is pushed in fast enough to make it bounce back. That's kind of impossible in this situation.
And it's going to be even more impossible going up against xPePii's Lucian. Essence Reaver already completed. Cull is about 12 stacks away from rounding out, so he's going to be onto a Essence Reaver static Shiv spike incredibly early.
Numbers on your friend there. I love how you're like, what is about 12? It's 13.
Oh.
I mean, I guess it's around.
You're arguing with me over 1 million?
What I'm saying is, it's there on the screen. You can use it, my friend.
Yeah, you're being technically correct is the
best kind of correct. There's the slight breeze.
All right,
pushed over top bot tower.
There it was. First tower secured by Giants. Important to note that they've not given up their outer turrets in the middle lane. Important to note that Giants have slowed down the tempo. I think they picked up the Rift Herald a moment ago as well.
Well, the thing is, neither team realistically, without a full commit, is going to be able to take that mid. You got Morgana one side, Lulu the other. I mean, Morgana's going to be able to hold the wave a lot easier. EpicSkillshot takes a lot of damage, but it's just trading back and forth now. EUCS was just trying to get vision. He actually did secure a ward, but I think it's right on top of a pink and is getting cleared as we speak. So didn't actually get maintained vision there.
No. But this time around, Wicked's got himself a big CS advantage. Plus 30, thanks to those lane swap shenanigans, thanks to being left alone for a prolonged period of time. 2-level advantage over SmittyJ is very important.
Yeah, SmittyJ is now collecting a big wave bottom lane. Hits level 9 right as you say that, cast a curse. Always the case. But middle lane, we talked about a team committing here. There's the Frost Queens.
into the verdict, and it is a miss. The tower is being hammered on, though. Powerball can come from the side. The barrel's caught Peppy. Lamb's Respite will buy some time as the Fisher splits up the lane. Caedrel gets taunted. Dark Shackles will not be enough to combine. The Soul Shackles, rather, as Hustlin is looking for a stun. SirNukeAlot is caught out. Giants pinned together 2 kills, and now they are the ones sieging up the middle lane.
Yeah, Caedrel ended up dying in the middle of that fight. In came SmittyJ on that Rammus to run himself in. And now Giants, with the commit after that fight, are able to take down that middle tower by the looks of it. Wickd wants to come in to defend.
He really is thinking about it, but the fact that that keeper's verdict did not find anybody means that the Copenhagen Wolves are forced to run away. There's a replay of that team fight, a great respite to keep Peppy alive.
And Caedrel didn't have his black shield available to keep himself alive for that fight. He had previously used it. That means he falls, and this was the rest of the fight. Honestly, NukeAlot not strong enough to sit in front of a lot of that damage. Keep in mind, it's support Trundle, not top lane Trundle, so will be a lot less tanky than you would expect.
And just like that, Giants close the gold deficit from 3.5, nearly 4,000 gold to just 1. They even out the towers, and they've exposed middle, so this makes Caedrel's life more difficult. He's now down 15 odd CS, thanks to dying, thanks to the team fight. But let's see how he reacts and how Copenhagen Wolves can put one back. Powerball will interrupt, or get interrupted by the body slam. Explosive cast will be available in just a few seconds.
TP,
Puncturing taunt gets put down onto Q, and Peppy, he's opted in. Wild Growth is available. The rest of the Wolves are trying to chase down. So NukeAlot, no flash available. Pillar of Ice comes up. Powerball once again interrupted. SmittyJ will be the sacrificial armadillo and just steps over to the side. Interesting, Peppy did not throw down the Wild Growth. Maybe felt that the risk involved was too great, and now all of a sudden Wolves, they've got a numbers advantage down bottom.
And even though that did it result in SmittyJ dying from that, he was overextended. There was a bit of a mark of what's to come. Wisdom taking a lot of damage. Caedrel did not properly time the black shield on Q. Q got taunted, then the black shield was applied. So it's nitpicky, but again, that's what we're talking about. It is a game-changing thing. If that doesn't land onto somebody like PeNoy, just as the taunt is coming in, oh, SONSTAR.
Yeah, SONSTAR's in so much trouble. Teleport from Caedrel as well.
Ooh, not sure why SmittyJ
completed the TP, put some damage down with Tremors. Look at the support. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Tower is available. Wisdom fancies this one. Jumps forward with Wolf's Frenzy and the Dark Frenzy, rather, as it was. Caedrel and SirNukeAlot, they're in trouble. Wisdom's down. Lamb's Respite will buy some time, but it simply will not matter. Dance of Arrows away, and it's Caedrel that gets the final blow. To another kill in favor of the Copenhagen Wolves. They are just punishing Giants for being overextended time and time again.
Oh,
a great barrel from Ku will knock Peppy backwards. Flash has already been used. SmittyJ is trying to interrupt. The Powerball gets stopped. Now he's going to die as well. On the front line, Hustlin's got the unbreakable shield, and SmittyJ will waddle away, but PeNoy takes a tower. It's just coming apart at the seams.
It absolutely is. Just even small decision-making's like, you know, completing that teleport to then take a fight where somebody has already died. It was even numbers, but PeNoy was taking mid lane at the same time. Then they go under a tower while still behind. And from there, Peppy kind of gets blasted back. SmittyJ looks to go aggressive with the Powerball onto a Black Shield target. He was banking on the Black Shield expiring. He just mistimed it. This is really rough from Giants, considering how good they looked in game 1 of this series. I was going to say is a completely different Giants. This is the Giants we saw for the majority of the regular split. And this is the wrong time for this to be happening to them, because a loss here puts them 1 game away from being out of the LCS.
Look at this, SONSTAR just heavily overextended. There simply was not enough support.
Yeah, I don't know why he's that far pushed up. He's trying to get a tower. This is exactly what Copenhagen Wolves have been putting SmittyJ behind by doing the entire game, is drawing him top away from his tower and then looking to pressure him out of that situation. From here, it's a fight under the tower. Wisdom, the Wild Growth expires, and then he's just easy pickings under here. Yeah, he's got his ult, but that's all well and good if you're on 120 health at that point. Good luck staying alive, even with a little bit of heal when you're in between 4 people. SmittyJ could be dead again.
Oh, another very good barrel from Ku. PeNoy's looking for a few more autos, has to get through the armor, finds the kill thanks to the Essence Reaver and Static Shift. Traded a top outer turret for a mid-inner turret.
But the Rift Herald buff here is going to apply on the minions as well. There may be a world in which the Wolves can push the inhibitor tower now because nobody really is there to defend. They only have 4 minions here and they won't get the extra resistances on the minion because it is only Rift Herald. It isn't the Baron buff.
No, it is not. There's another minion line congering its way in. Very good dark binding onto xPePii. The culling will get a near full channel, but it'll only half connect with xPePii. Inhibitor turret dropped to about 50% HP, and at 20 minutes in, Copenhagen Wolves have got a 5,000 gold lead. 4 towers to 3. Gonna take their second dragon, and are in just complete control of this game.
Absolute control. I mean, you know, we talked about it. Nice, like, don't worry, man, I got you. I got you.
One more, I'll do it, don't worry.
I got it, I just want the kill credit. We talked about how, from the way the lane swap played out for Giants, it should have been game for Wolves. It looked like Giants were coming back into the game with that mid lane fight. Keep in mind, they got a good fight mid, took a tower from it, looked to have closed the gold gap to only 1,000. I'd actually love to see the gold swings in this game, because it is going to be up and down. Still all in Copenhagen Wolves' favor, but it's going to be peaks and troughs all over the place.
Thanks.
Giants have kind of fought back, but...
Thanks almost entirely to SmittyJ and SONSTAR.
Yeah.
2 guys getting caught out that then resulted in a objective or a tower being taken down. And
but then SmittyJ manages to get on top of Caedrel without Black Shield available. They get killed, they translate it into mid. It's just a very scrappy game.
Again? The body slam
into nukes.
Oh, so good. Pinoy takes a lot of damage, almost kills himself because of the puncturing taunt, the armor, and the tremors. But with the front line, the rolling Powerball away, Copenhagen Wolves have now got some uncontested time to siege the top tower.
That was a pretty sweet barrel.
That was sick, actually.
Onto a Powerball target, put him into the troll, and...
brings new meaning to the term barrel roll.
Yeah, I wish I had something to follow up with that.
Like, yep.
It's been a long time since I played Star Fox.
Yep.
So. Mainly because I don't really want to listen to Slippy.
I never played that game, but I always wanted to.
What?
I never watched streams like YouTube clips and whatnot.
That's so sad. Or as I knew it in the UK, Line-upL was one of the best N64 games. It's so sad, man.
Nintendo 64 never came to South Africa. Seriously.
No, I know
Sanctions.
you've actually
We've had this. I know, but I've never said it on broadcast. So
yeah, that's fair.
that's the first. My childhood was deprived. Never got to experience GoldenEye.
Ah,
Yes. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't even know what that is. It's sad. 22 minutes in. Baron is an option, or at least a threat for the Copenhagen Wolves.
yeah.
If they can pull Giants there and then connect with Trundle Pillar, Dark Binding, good Gragas ultimate. And actually, you know what? Ku has been fantastic with his Gragas
He
ultimate.
has. His Gragas has been on point way better than the Elise was in the first couple of games. And maybe that's why he's banned.
SmittyJ's decided to join this one. Wisdom jumps in. Lamb's Wristband is going to be needed just to save Giants' lives. The verdict holds Giants in place, and Copenhagen Wolves are looking to ace the Giants. 3 are down. They've lost Caedrel in reply, and SONSTAR's hopping away. He's got the Hurricane and the Blade of the Ruined King, but it's simply not enough damage. It's a 4-for-1.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough. The Copenhagen Wolves were dropping very low. Ku was dropping low. Caedrel even died in that fight. And it looked maybe like SONSTAR would have been able to clean up 1 or 2 more, but the problem is, as one man, he does not have enough damage right now. Blade of the Ruined King and that Hurricane is all he's got right now. He's behind on CS. This was the start of the fight once again. Ku on point with a max range barrel. Hits him with just the edge. And Pepping falls before this fight even starts. From here, SmittyJ again completes a teleport after somebody on his team dies. That is generally not a good idea, as a tip.
Yeah, generally speaking. SONSTAR does what he can, but he simply does not have a team around long enough
Yeah.
to keep those attacks going.
Ku backs away, Pinoy backs away. The actual targets that SONSTAR would have been able to deal with just were like, well, okay, well, we've won this fight. No need for us to push forward.
How on earth is SONSTAR going to kill Ku, who's got a Randion's Omen already? Wicked, Sunfire Cape, plus that Iceborne Gauntlet. This has been a good punish from the Copenhagen Wolves. They've extended their lead. They've they've punished Giants' mistakes and misplays when it comes to positioning.
And I really don't feel like Giants were expecting the Trundle pick away.
I completely agree with that.
I feel like Giants were like, okay, well, they've got Poppy, they've got their top laner, we'll lock the Trundle later, let's take our picks in the second rotation and you know, see
Going
what
Kalista Braum.
Kalista Braum, exactly. And they're like, well, let's take him. But the problem with that is it's just...
They gave up the Trundle Lucian.
Yeah.
I would have taken Kalista Trundle probably. Kept SmittyJ on something comfortable. Get them on something that he could have gone toe-to-toe with Wickd. Barrel this time around. It knocks Hustlin back, but SONSTAR was pinned against the wall, so unable to get killed. Dark Binding onto Hustlin on top of the Tormented Soul. Copenhagen Wolves take a tower, and they back away. That was the last outer turret.
Yeah, 9,000 gold lead right now, and again, hits onto one of those targets, at least drops them low enough that they have to back away. Giants have to reconsider, and yeah, I just feel like this Trundle support and the way that they took it away from Giants messed a lot with what Giants wanted to do in picks and bans. Now, it hasn't single-handedly, you know, dealt with everything, but the fact that Rammus on the other side has 5 deaths is as a symptom of what has happened earlier on in the game, being caught up in the bad lane swap at the beginning, plus the plan having to change on the fly.
You can feel the problems that Giants are facing. This is going to be a monumental task. Second game in a row that Giants are pleading with Copenhagen Wolves to either make a mistake or to play for the super, super late game. Because SONSTAR has decided to go for a 3rd item QSS. Pinoy's also got that, but he's got an additional Infinity Edge. So, an entire item ahead. Plus 30 CS, 602. Copenhagen Wolves are going to get themselves an inhibitor turret uncontested, simply because they called Giants bluff. And take this one down. Finally, Giants will move their way up. The tower actually does not fall, but the fight breaks out. Hustlin gets a good Glacial Fissure. Pinoy's on the backline and completely safe with a defensive barrel, knocking Giants away. Wisdom forced to use the ultimate to stay alive as SmittyJ is trying to tremor the Wolves away. It will not matter. Pinoy can't take him down just yet. Defensive ball curl and that Thornmail's keeping him up, but the Wolves have got what they wanted. They've broken open the base. They will secure this inhibitor, and they can back away after just playing the zoning game.
Well, Pinoy was trying not to greed for it, then does manage to take down the inhibitor. Giants are on the chase, but I think they're going to get denied too heavily here.
SmittyJ looks for a power ball, look for the black shield, continuing to chase. Giants are still down 10,000 gold with nearly no ultimates.
Bottom lane, big wave pushing in. SmittyJ desperately wants it. He wants to be able to catch up 2 levels down on Wickd, so that is going to be that as he goes bottom lane. But again, the Wolves are just utilizing their advantage. This is now 2 games in which Pinoy has gone unkilled so far.
Yeah, and 2 games in a row where Copenhagen Wolves have built up waves on the side lane. They've pressured a particular lane. When you look top or bottom or wherever else, there are minions pushing in the favor of the Copenhagen Wolves. So it's very clever because replay this very extended team.
And again, in this situation, Wolves don't need kills here to win this fight and to ultimately look to win this game. All they're here for is the inhibitor, so the fact that they're getting them low is enough for Wolves to just go, okay, well, we refocus, we back away, let this Kindred ult expire, and then with the wave, we push up once again. Anybody put out in front is going to get chunked down even further, and the Giants can't defend against the inhibitor push. From here, easy push on the turret, it's 1 shot left. This is the touch and go kind of situation for Pinoy. He was getting zoned off by xPePii just because you have to respect xPePii's damage at that point. But it was enough to take down the inhibitor. And the Wolves right now are in a comfortable spot, but Nukes is being caught. Ku is there.
Oh, a lot of damage coming down. Wisdom is dancing with those arrows forward. And actually,
TP's coming
items.
out.
Oh, great
good
dark binding. Caedrel times it beautifully, instantly interrupts the TP Powerball. And that is a very, very big tool down for the Giants. Spooky, chilly Ghosts goes out. Caedrel's looking for more. Winter's Bite will slow Caedrel's aggression, and Copenhagen Wolves can play around. Baron can play around with the super minion timing. Sated Devourer just completed 10 or 11 minutes later in Game 2 this series.
Yeah, really late. You know, we had questions, Caedrel, with the Black Shields. Would he have them on time? He hasn't needed to. There has been so few occasions that the Rammus has been effective. It's preemptively used onto Pinoy, but that's actually not too bad there. You can see SmittyJ turn back around.
And look at that, buying time for Wickd to push.
That's all this is for.
Buying time for Wickd to split push. That is not a sentence I've said very often when talking about Copenhagen Wolves in the spring split of Challenger.
No.
And now in the promotion tournament.
Well, they got the inhibitor turret down. Now they turn their attention to the Baron. Hustlin's going to check on this. So is SmittyJ, but
It's too late.
this is pretty much gone here. This is done. It's the Baron going over.
Yeah, simply too late. And I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Where Pulse said he reckons Copenhagen Wolves have an advantage, in his opinion, because of the growth that they've shown since they've made substitutions. And that play right there, where Copenhagen Wolves actively played with Giants' time, split push to take a tower, and got Baron safely, I think shows their head is in the right place. Now we just need to see them do that consistently across multiple games, against multiple teams.
I think it's fair to say there has been growth from the
Yeah.
Wolves. I think it's fair to say the additions of Caedrel and Q have rejuvenated the lineup. The problem for me is in this specific game, this has been a lot more about, in the early game, Giants' mistakes.
Yeah.
And Giants really showing us the other side of what they showed us in game one. This is so much more of what we have come to expect, unfortunately, from the Giants.
Biggest goal deficit at 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, because of mistakes, as you so rightly point out.
So it is, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But
today's analogy day of the promo
things-
tournament.
but very British as well.
Yeah.
Both things come together and result in this game for the Wolves. And, you know, again, we all, at the beginning of the day, we're like, well, it depends on how you play on the day. That's everything about this.
And when Copenhagen Wolves played Huma, they went 2-0 up and then lost the next 3. So now the mental fortitude. Copenhagen Wolves have got a few minutes to close this one out with the Baron if they so desire. Baron empowered Siege minion down the bottom lane. Inhibitor's going down. That's a flash forward from Hustlin. Yes, he's managed to catch Pinoy, but for what cause? Body slam onto Wisdom. Wisdom throws out the Resper to buy some additional time. Ooh. Super minions pour through the middle lane. 2, 3 members of Giants are down. Pepi's the next target. Ku brings the barrel down on his head, and SmittyJ's forced to roll away. That will be another victory for the Copenhagen Wolves, and in even more commanding fashion. 2-1. The Wolves are 1 game away from advancing to the next stage.
It is going so much better for the Wolves right now, and one of the things that's working out well for them is the man in the bottom lane. 8-0 for this game. He's on your screen right now. That means over the last 2 games, 18-0 and 7 for Pinoy.
Those are ridiculous stats.
And it's just carrying the games through for the Wolves. Yes, it's a group effort. Ku had a lot of jungle control in that game.
Oh, yes.
1-0-12 himself. So a good game for Ku, showing up on the stage. But, man, it's difficult to deal with Pinoy when he's getting that much room and nobody's threatening him.
Yeah, it's around like an 80% kill participation with that 1-0-12. But I was just more impressed with Ku landing so many ultimates.
Yeah.
Those Gragas barrels, knocking targets back over and over and over again, that is a consistent, not over-aggressive approach. Which is, it was the over-aggression that was a problem in the Challenger Finals. We're not seeing it here in the series.
And you look at the composition that the Wolves had in this setup, there was really no way of Giants getting onto Pinoy at any point. You've got the Poppy to disengage. You've got the Gragas to disengage. The Morgana shield to deny the taunt. Even the bindings from Caedrel were starting to block.
Don't forget the Pillars of Ice.
Yeah.
SirNukeAlot is like, nope, we do not want you to pass.
And if Rammus does try and come in, you just subjugate him. And, oh, there goes your resistance.
Yeah.
It's nice. And Pinoy still loses a lot of his health there, but it was so tough for Giants really to do anything in that game.
And it's so interesting because if you step back and you look at the early game and say, had Giants made less mistakes, how would that game have played out? It's a question we will never know because right now we're going to head to the analyst desk and then to talk about how it was the Copenhagen Wolves who